And it turns out that this woman is Blast's wife, dog. Did Void smash Blast's wife? I really don't know where to start with this one, guys. Blast, he really did lose his arm. Saitama vs. Empty Void is here. Blast tried to fuse with Empty Void. We almost got Empty Blast. Give me Empty Blast. And my brain is struggling to digest and process this chapter. Like, I don't even know where to begin. We have so much to talk about in every panel. So as we remember, at the end of the last chapter, Blast got his arm sliced off and then his chest cut up. And we were thinking like, hey, is it a genjutsu? Is he going to be able to heal himself somehow? Like, what's going on? Turns out, yeah, he legitimately lost his arm. And he got like the Gojo treatment pretty much. He almost died even. So is Blast a fraud, bro? Like, damn. And as the chapter begins, are you trying to tell me to wake up? You're the one who needs to wake up. I heard you recently climbed to the top of the so-called pro-hero industry. Of course he did, I thought to myself. You've always been like this, irresponsibly preaching ideals and bringing disaster to those around you. He stabs Blast through the shoulder and lifts him up. Like, he literally could have just killed Blast right there. He's just trying to torture him, I guess, at this point, because he has, long age vendetta. And Blast is screaming in pain as Void asks him, who have you managed to protect? And then he says, you have a kid, don't you? And that's why it was important, I guess, to show Blue. So we learn in this chapter of what one of Murata's thinking was for the pause in this fight. It was really important to introduce Blue because he is actually a main component of this interaction in the story right now. So this catches Blast off guard and Void is like, your eyes are shifty, but something comes in to hit him and it's Flashy Flash. However, Void was able to block it with ease. Blast yells at Flash, stop it, don't interfere. To which Flash says, then why not target that weak spot from the beginning? Wasn't that what we were taught at your village? And that's basically like Flash, I guess, confirming that he could have killed Blast, that Void could have killed Blast. Like right here, where he just stabbed him through the shoulder, he could have just cut off his head and it would have been over. And I think he's trying to say like, hey, there's still some good in you. But Void's like, nah, F that, slash your chest. And yeah, Flashy Flash just got sliced up. Sonic comes in to try and kick Void, but he teleports outside of reality. And Blast, without his ability to connect his hands, can't really stop this. So a Dimension Blade is coming and they're in big trouble. As Empty Void says, I will turn you brats into dust with my dimensional blade too soon. I would have enjoyed tormenting you directly rather than slicing you from afar. But that will do. I'm done with this nonsense. Die! And he comes in to do the attack. Dimension Slash. We get some awesome imagery here from Murata. This is the third time we've seen the Dimension Slash in the manga now, and every time Murata just depicts the destruction and damage from this ability like apocalyptic, awesome damage and everything. Blast and everybody's in trouble. They know they're screwed, but then Saitama catches the blade and he's like, oh, what's this? So interesting. This is huge feats here from Saitama. He literally just caught an attack from outside of reality. So there is actually a lot of feats here. And I know the power scalers are going to have a really good time with this one. Empty Void can't believe it. He's like, what? It's not moving. No way. There's nothing that could stop the tip of the Dimension Blade, which cuts through space itself. So Saitama caught an ability that cuts through space. You're talking about giving Saitama fourth or fifth dimensional powers at this point. So Empty Void goes in to throw in his second sword, a second dimensional slash. And Saitama catches the second one. And he's like, oh, another one. Dude, I cracked up at this point. Like, the comedy, I just love Saitama too much, man. Like, his character is so hysterical. I just love the character of Saitama just so much. Just his personality is just perfection. Void can't believe it. He's like, what? This is impossible. Like, nothing can stop. This is God power. And Saitama correctly acknowledges that this is the guy who chopped up the hero headquarters. So he yanks the swords and pulls Void all the way down ground from outside of reality back into his dimension. Think about that. He was able to pull someone from outside of the dimension of Earth in reality as we know it and pull a being from that exterior dimension reality, whatever you call it, into his reality. So like you have to think of the repercussions or the insinuations of that context, that in terms of the power scaling, like how unimaginably OP Saitama is. Like Goku is not catching these dimension blades, and he's definitely not pulling a being from another dimension into his realm. And so we see Empty Void like flattened in the ground. And this is interesting because in the webcomic, after his battle with Saitama, he looked like this in the wall. Now he's in the ground. So they interestingly were able to bring us the webcomic story in this kind of rewrite of the fight, which is awesome. I love how One and Murata do this. Like they don't want to disappoint the webcomic elitists. They want to give us, you know, manga readers something fresh and new, and they kind of meet in the middle in a lot of these cases. And I honestly think that's really creative and cool, and it's like they really listen to the fans. That's one of the things I love about One and Murata. They absolutely listen and watch the fans. So Saitama here has two new swords, these two ninja swords, and I'm guessing Flash and Sonic are going to each get one here. We don't find out here in this chapter, but we do know that Saitama gave them, I believe, just to Flash, or he gave one of them to Flash after this fight happened in the webcomic. And they're supposed to be like very, very powerful ninja swords. Unfortunately, not the Moon Blade, though. So we know Atomic Samurai has the Sun Sword. We still haven't heard anything about the Moon Blade yet, which should be coming into the story at some point. But you would think it's kind of like a ninja sword. I mean, maybe not. Empty Void is not dead, though. He didn't take a punch from Saitama. He just got pulled into the ground. It basically took gravity damage. He blasts out. He flies back out into the air, and Flash and Sonic chase up after him. And he tries to do a hand seal to cast some sort of spell, but Blast is able to attack. So check this out. This is crazy. So even though he's only one-armed, his little stub of a right arm like has black hole power on it. And he's able to punch through with his left arm through a dimension gate to connect to his dislocated right arm. And he's able to connect the two fists and do this infinity symbol, which activates his power. So Empty Void thought like Blast wouldn't be able to use his powers anymore. Turns out he did have the ability. Like if he can just hang on to his arm, you know, he could just create dimension portals to keep punching his dead arm, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. Like we'll have to get some more explanation, but he says Blast transferred blood flow and neural signals between the severed parts of his arm, preparing for his last resort. So this is really funny because I made a video 2 weeks ago saying no, not Daddy Blast. And in that video, I was saying maybe he's going to be able to like put a black hole on his stub and a black hole on the arm and stick it on and like heal it. Look at this picture, dude. He has a black hole on his stub. So I wasn't fully incorrect. He didn't heal it, but like I feel like if he can transfer blood flow and neural signals between severed body parts, he should be able to heal himself. Like I feel like he's going to be able to get it either surgically reattached or get a robot arm of some sort, because he's too important of a character to like nerf that hard. It's so disappointing because like I love Blast's character so much and I hate seeing this. You know, I love One Punch Man. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not bashing the show, okay? I'm not bashing it. It's just, I love this character so much, I don't want to see him nerfed. Just give us more Blast, damn it! Like, I know it's the One Punch Man. The show is titled after Saitama, but like, I love this character, man. Maybe I'm still in denial, but like just by this panel, by his ability to like still use his powers, and with it saying that, you know, he was able to transfer blood flow and neural signals. So like if he has his arm, he could probably still use it. I mean, it sounds like if he gets it stitched to get back on his arm, he can transfer the blood flow in and get it working again. So does Blast have that level of regenerative capabilities? I guess we're going to find out really soon, but boy, I hope he gets his arm back. Flash and Sonic go into attack, but Blast stops them, or essentially saves Void. He like tackles him with his little stub arm and takes him away. And then all this electricity starts to appear around them. They're fusing. As Void states, he's aligning with my coordinates. If we fuse like this, our biological structures will be torn apart. Are you trying to die? And Blast, yes, is like willing to die. He says, Sitch, I'm counting on you. It's just in case everything else fails. But if by some chance the only way to capture Void is by fusing with him, please try to use your monster cell separation technology on us. It's okay if you prioritize his life. So, wow, hold on, boys. This is a lot to digest. Fusion in One Punch Man is real, okay? I did a video on that a little while ago. Okay, so fusion is real. Blast is ready to die to keep Void alive, meaning that the gate of the Celestial Rock Cave, which Void is the only one who has the power to open, is too important. Like, if Void dies, it's over. Blast is willing to sacrifice himself to save this villain because that's how important it is, the #1 hero. So we have to keep that in mind. They start fusing and Blast says the power of light is repelling me. So if we remember, Empty Void said that Blast has the power of darkness, and we still don't know what that means. And the power of God is the power of light. I just find that very strange. This is a monster god. It should be the power of darkness should be the god, and the power of light should be Blast, right? Who's the good guy. So I think that's very peculiar statements here in the manga that are going to set us up for maybe some twists and turns in the future of the story. Blast and Void land, and it turns out they're both stunned and shocked because in the instant that Blast tried to fuse with Void, he got a glimpse of Void's memories as their consciousness overlapped. And what Blast saw was the vision that Void saw when he took God's power. And what he saw was this woman reaching her hand out, and it turns out that this woman is Blast's wife, dog. Did Void smash Blast's wife? Bro, is Blue like, I was gonna say, is Blue Void's son and not Empty, but you can take look at this little picture of baby Blue, and he's got the little hand infinity symbol circle thing on it. Meaning like, was he wearing a suit as a baby? Is it genetic? Like, does he have these kind of like black hole rings on his hand as it's like a genetic anomaly or something like that? Most likely this woman is Void's sister and Blast's wife. And I'm guessing that Void holds some sort of resentment towards Blast because obviously they had a kid together and she must have died. Void had some sort of relationship with Blast's wife. And if you take a look at these parallels, they're uncanny. So really interesting stuff here. Man, I can make like 6 videos on this chapter alone. Fusion and Saitama's feats and Blast and all this stuff. But I think it's safe to say that like Void is nowhere near as strong as Garo. Void's strongest attack that we know of, the Dimension Slash or the double Dimension Slash, just got caught by 2 fingers from Saitama. Meanwhile, Garo was able to do this. So I don't think Void was stronger than Garo. We saw him fuse with Garo, at least drink in his powers, and actually made him weaker because he was incompatible with Garo's personality, basically. Void kind of sucks, and Blast lost to him, so it's like, damn, bro. I don't know, man. Blast, man, this just sucks. Like, Blast gotta be stronger than this. So his final move is fusing. I think that would have been a cool ending. That way, like if Blast would have fused with Empty Void, he would have gotten his arm back, he would have gotten like a power up, and he would have gotten the ability to open the gate of the Celestial Rock Cave. So we would have gotten everything we wanted, for everything I wanted for Blast. And I think that would have been cool. That would have been an awesome trump card for Blast. I guess that's what he was saying to Flash. Like, I've been preparing as well. I've been training. So he has his trump card. He can like black hole his body into you and fuse with you. Interesting. I guess he's never done that before, but I would have liked to see empty Blast, bro. Give me Empty Blast. Crazy chapter, man. I'm really interested to know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys like the way that this turned out? Like, because it was a pretty fast-paced fight. Like, it wasn't nearly as long of a fight as Saitama versus God Garo, and it wasn't nearly as epic as Saitama versus God Garo. It's not over, but like it's pretty over. You know, I feel like Saitama just showed up, so it's like it's over. You know, like Void doesn't really feel like too much of a threat anymore. I don't know. I'm just really curious to know what you guys think. I was definitely not expecting the chapter to go this way. I think I need to sleep on it and digest on it like a little bit more legitimately, because I really thought like Blast was doing some sort of genjutsu. He is going to show us some crazier abilities other than, I mean, Fusion's a pretty crazy ability. We have seen Fusion with like Genos and Drive Knight and stuff. Blast lost some points, I feel like, in this chapter, just in terms of his Chadness. And, but I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you guys soon for another One Punch video. Definitely going to make more videos on this chapter.